My name is Calliope. How are you doing today? Okay, well, I hope by the time you leave my little setup here that you feel even just the littlest bit better, maybe a bit more confident, yeah? Okay, so today we are doing your makeup, correct? Excellent. So do you have something in mind? Is there anything in particular that you want to do? Okay. Alrighty. And are you having any specific concerns or anything you really want to camouflage or anything you wish to play up? Okay. Certainly I can see that, yeah. Alright. That's definitely doable. Okay. And then you really want to emphasize the eyes, correct? Okay. Is there anything in particular that you do not like or you do not want? Whether it's a certain product or it's a certain color? Okay. Alright, so contour, not so much. Okay, that's just fine. I don't do contour myself, so that works out very well. Alright. Okay, well, let's start getting into it and I'll show you what I got. So, let's see here. Let's do a little consultation first. I have a ton of different palettes. So, since we want to focus on bright colors, I've got 3 in particular that we can look at. First, we have the NYX Ultimate Brights palette. And these colors look really pigmented, really strong. However, they are going to be more on the buildable / muted sort of consistency, so it looks more like a wash of color rather than a bright pop. There are certainly some exceptions. The yellows tend to turn out pretty bright, as well as that blue there. Those tend to be pretty strong, but the others are very buildable. So there's those 16 colors. These are going to have more of a powder consistency. And then I have the Take Me Back to Brazil Rio Edition palette here by BH Cosmetics. So, with the exception of the black color, these are all shimmer shades. And our other palette was a mix of mattes and I believe there might be some satin and there's a touch of shimmer in there. So everything save for the black here is a shimmer or a metallic in the case of a couple of these earthy tones. So these have a lot of color payoff with the drawback of there is a lot of fallout in the palettes, in the colors. So that's just something we'll have to be careful of, right? Okay. And then next is my current favorite. I've been using this a lot. This is the Ace Beauté Nostalgia palette. These colors are a little different in that their consistency is a touch different. They have more of a creamy formulation, which I have found works excellent for A, color payoff, and B, buildability and C, wear as well. They're very versatile and very long wearing. So these are our colors here. So very bright. My particular favorites are the raspberry here, the orange vacation shade, the pink purple flip-flops shade, that's my favorite color right there, the picnic shade, and the peach stargazing shade. I also really love this pink shimmer heat shade as well. So a lot of these are matte with the exception of the gold, the peach, and the pink over here. So were any of those colors standing out to you? Anything that you really liked? Okay. Alright, well, we'll have a little fun with it then. I've got the perfect idea in mind. So let's work on your base. So I'm going to pull out some products. Okay. Is there any particular reason why you wanted to get your makeup done today? Okay. Wasn't sure if you had somewhere to go to or if it was just for fun. I think that'll do it for us. Put this away. Alright, so we have all the products that we need. I am going to sanitize my hands before I start touching your face. So, to do your makeup today, I am going to need to be touching your face. Is that okay with you? Do I have your permission to do that? Firstly, I'd like to prime your face, okay? So I'm going to use just a dab of product there. I like to put on primer with my fingers, as I feel like it's much easier to warm up the product and get a good even coverage. So I'm just going to just very gently smooth that all over your face, okay? Just smoothing that all over. There we go. Please let me know if at any point anything starts to burn or itch or give you any irritation, okay? My products should all be hypoallergenic, and I sanitize everything after each client. But we want to be careful nonetheless. Okay, so I'm just going to start mixing up a shade for your base. And I'm going to grab some brushes here. I really like to mix up your base and then apply it with my fingers and then buff it out with a brush okay? I feel like that really warms up the product and it's easier to blend into the skin and it looks a lot more natural. So I'm just going to just mix up your shade here. That, and I think a little bit of that. And I'm just going to swatch it on your jawline here, okay? So just swatch, swatch, swatch. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to pop that on all over your face. Okay, and then I'm just going to smooth it and work that into the face using my fingertips. It's a pretty light coverage base since overall you only really need a couple of spots to be corrected, but otherwise you look very, very gorgeous. I will admit, I do say that to everybody, but that doesn't make it any less true. So I'm just going to blend that down the neck as well. Okay, so I'm going to get a brush to just buff that all out and blend it into the hairline, into the neck, into the ears, okay? You doing okay so far? Excellent, that's great to hear. So, I'm just going to use our brush here in very gentle sort of buffing motions here. Okay. Just blending that all out. Okay, getting the ears as well. There we go, okay. Just making sure that it looks natural, that there's not any excess texture going on. Okay. Alright, excellent. So let's work on some spot concealing. So I'm going to take a little flat brush here to aid me in that. And we'll get some concealer that's just a touch lighter than your skin tone. Okay. And I'm just going to dot that. Just dot, dot, dot that onto different spots. And I'm going to let that sit just a little bit so that the product warms up on your face, and then we'll go in and just clean that up for you, okay? So I'm going to set that to the side. Alright. So let's go ahead and set your base, okay? So I'm going to use some setting powder here. Okay. I'm just going to just dust that over your face. flicking that over. Okay. Just blending in those spots there. Okay. Then I'll just finish off with that setting powder in those areas. Okay. There we go. So let's go ahead and work on your eyebrows. So I think that I would like to just fill them in a little bit, and then we will go in with some brow gel to keep them set in place. Let me see here. Okay, there we are. Alright, so I have a little brow pencil here, and we're just going to, or a brow pen rather, and I'm just going to come in and just very quickly fill in the little hairs so that there aren't any spots that are bare or have a hole in them. Okay. Very good. And I'll let that dry for a moment. While we're letting that dry, we're going to prime your eyelids. So I have an NYX primer here that we're going to be applying to your eyelids. It's colorless, which is very helpful. Let me grab a little brush here to get that primer. Okay. Alright, so now you close your eyes for me. Okay. I'm just going to apply the primer along the lids. Okay, you can open your eyes, and then I'm just going to do some on the bottom of the eyes here, in the inside corner. Okay, and along the outside as well. Alright. Let's get your brows set. So I've got a clear brow gel here. Looks quite like a mascara wand. And we're just going to use this to brush up and set your brows. Okay, so I'm just going to very quickly just swipe that into the brows and just follow the natural direction of your brows. Doesn't take too much, which is very helpful, I have found. Just a little bit. Okay. Alright, very good. And let's start talking about your eyes, okay? So I want to use a pencil liner firstly that is a touch on the dull side so that it doesn't poke you and it gives us more of a smudge. And I just want to tightline your eyes, so I'll pull up on your top eyelids and just line that waterline, okay? I'm just going to pull this eye up and just smudge that along the waterline there. Okay, and you can blink. And I'll just pull up and smudge that along the waterline. Okay, you can go ahead and blink. Now, let's see, since you allow dealer's choice as far as your makeup, I want to give you one of my absolute favorite graphic eyeshadows, which is the purple and orange combo. So I'm going to be using these two here, and I'll use this one first, and it'll be just on the outside third of your eye, and then we'll go in with this shade, the orange there, and that's going to be on the rest of the lid. Now, this is not there's not going to be eyeshadow all over your lid, but rather it's going to be on the eye itself, the eyelid there, and then just a touch in the crease as well, okay? It's not super, dramatic like that, okay? Does that sound okay? Excellent. So these are both a matte shade, and I'm just going to use our little eyeshadow brush here to just tap that product into the eye. So when we're applying shadow, we want to just tap that on. That gives us the best color payoff and the best result, so that it's not opaque in some places and more translucent in others, so it's not as patchy. So I'm just going to just pat our brush into our purple shade, and I'm going to get a little bit on the tip there. I'm going to have you close your eyes, okay? So I'm just going to outline the outside of our shadow there, and then where it stops. And then we're going to fill in from there, just using patting motions on your eye. Just making sure that it's all distributed evenly. Okay. It's a rather quick look, which is very helpful because you're not doing a ton of blending, you're not working with a lot of colors, but rather you're mostly just tapping into the eye, and then you'll blend a little bit and then you call it good. It's very simple, very easy. Okay, and I'm just going to clean off our brush here, and then we'll tap into our orange. Okay, so go ahead and keep your eyes closed, and I'm just going to tap that into the rest of the eyelid right there. There we go. Just tap that into the skin. Helps minimize fallout and gives me the best control over what I'm doing. Just tapping that in. Okay, so this is where the fun part comes in, and we do some blending. So, firstly, I'm going to just blend in the two colors on your eye, and then we're going to just softly diffuse the edges, okay? So go ahead and keep your eyes closed, and I'm just going to just work on very softly blending where the two colors meet, that it's not so much of a harsh line rather than just a dramatic end and beginning. Okay, and then I'm just going to tap this into a little bit of our shadow and just very softly diffuse the edges here. You doing okay so far? Okay, excellent. There we go. Very good. So let's go ahead and use our purple shade on the bottom eyelid. So we're just going to tap into that one there. And I'm going to use the very, very top, that little flat part, to get a nice clean line. And you can open your eyes and look up for me. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to make that shadow meet the top there. Okay. There we are. So now we'll work on liner. I'm going to start with doing our bottom liner with our pencil here. So I'm going to be putting the eyeliner directly on the waterline, and then I'm going to just turn it to the side to bring that across, okay? So just go ahead and look up for me. There we go. Okay, you can blink. Alright, and then go ahead and look up. I'm just gonna smudge that along the lower eyelid. There we are. Okay, and now let's finish off with some liner. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to use a felt tip liner here. And I want you to just be very still and just look straight ahead, okay? Alright, we're just going to draw our line here and then bring that across. Eyeliner's tough, yeah. Takes years of practice and years of screwing it up. But here's the thing. If you screw it up, just go over it and make it bigger and bigger and bigger until it doesn't look screwy anymore. And I mean, if it gets too big, you can always say you're just emulating Taylor Momsen or something. Okay. straight at me. And close your eyes. Open them. Very good. I like that a lot. Let's move on to your rouge. So I have a few different options here, or a couple rather. So I'll tell you what I personally would like to do, and after you tell me what you like. So firstly, we have a pink shimmer shade here, or we have this coral cream as well. Or actually, I forgot one other option. We have a peach tint. That'd be an option as well. So the only two, or the two that have shimmer are these, and this one does not, but it's gonna come out shiny. Okay, that's the one I was thinking of as well. Going to grab some of our cream here and let's apply that to a brush. Okay, and we're just going to carve out the cheek there and just swipe that on. It comes out really pigmented, but then shears out quite a bit. I know a lot of people enjoy having rouge on their nose or up the bridge of their nose. Are you one of those people? Okay. So just a touch, just a little wash. Okay, we'll just dot that on there then. And swipe that out. Alright, very good. And then finally, let's do your lip color, okay? So I think that with your particular eye look, that either we do a nude or we do an orange. Let me show you what I got. So I have 3 oranges and 1 nude. So this is the nude color. Right there, okay? It's less dark than this particular little swatch would have you think. And we have this liquid lipstick here in kind of a corally orange shade. We have this electric orange cream lipstick here, personal favorite. And we have the NYX Butter Gloss in, I believe it's Dreamsicle. And that's actually the shade that I'm wearing right now. So, pretty nice. So, is there any particular one that you liked? Okay. This will match perfectly with your eyeshadow. Excellent. So, let me pop that on a brush. And let's go ahead and just keep your lips neutral, okay? Don't do anything weird with them. And I'm just going to this will dry matte, and it tends to stay really well, actually. I found that even when I've worn that shade with a mask on, it doesn't really transfer too much. It will on like cups and straws and what have you, but it takes a little bit for it to come off. Okay, can you just open your mouth for me? Very good. Let's finish outlining your lips here. Okay, go ahead and close them, and then we'll just fill that in. Okay. Okay, you can go ahead and just press your lips together. Very good. All right, that turned out great. Now, our final two steps is a final set on your makeup, and then we are going to do a touch of highlight, okay? All right, so grab our powder. Okay, and close your eyes. All right. Okay, you can go ahead and open them. And then we do highlight on top of the powder so that it doesn't get dulled. Let's see here. Okay, just going to use a small brush, and we're going to apply this highlight here. We're going to do it on the inner corner of your eye, the outside, and then the outside of the cheekbone there. Okay, so just hold still. Just very gentle, very soft. Nothing too fancy. Okay, just a little swipe. All right. I think that will about do it for us. Is there absolutely anything else I can do for you? Okay. Well, you look absolutely wonderful, if I do say so myself. A pop punk icon. And I really hope you enjoy it. Okay. Thank you so much for seeing me today. I really appreciate that. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you. Bye now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like this video if you want to, comment if you'd like to, and subscribe